Hey guys, I wanted to get on as part of this series and talk a little bit about a nutrient, particularly a mineral that's doing the rounds lately. It's getting an awful lot of press, fitness press specifically, and that's magnesium. So, boring word straight away. Magnesium is important for us if for no other reason than there's an awful lot of deficiency in it nowadays. So there was a recent study done that showed that over half the American population is actually deficient in magnesium. So a lot of us might consider that unimportant, and it is important. And if for no other reason than we do suffer if you have a magnesium deficiency on a day-to-day, very felt level with that. So I'll just get straight into talking about some of the symptoms. One of the main symptoms of magnesium deficiency is broken sleep. So it may be that you get to sleep okay, but staying asleep can be a problem. You may wake up a few times in the night, and when you wake up, you'll often be quite lucid and clear and energized and not foggy the way you used to be when you were a kid and you just drifted back off, which was great. So that can be one symptom and one of the most annoying ones. But the other one that can give it away, because it's often in tandem with it, is actually muscle cramps. If you suffer from magnesium deficiency, you usually get more than one symptom at a time. So far we've got sleep, broken sleep in particular, even though getting to sleep might not be a problem. The other one will be muscle cramps. The other one can be what we call the jitters. So generally you might have high anxiety levels, which might not be connected to anything that you have clearly going on in your head. So if you suffer from a few of these symptoms or all of them, it could be that you're suffering with a magnesium deficiency. One of the reasons that we tend to be deficient in it nowadays so much, there's a few, and one of the main ones is how we farm. Now that's not something we can do an awful lot, and in a nutrition series like this, it's not one that I would go into very much. But one of the big ones, which is quite clear if you do it, is caffeine intake. So caffeine tends to make you excrete magnesium. It tends to drive it out of your body, and if you've drank caffeine a lot over the years, it tends to take it down to a chronically low level, which can be, if not dangerous, make your life a bit uncomfortable. The other reason for it is alcohol intake, and alcohol, like caffeine, is something that can drive your magnesium levels very low. Now again, to get into the importance of this, why it's important is that it's been implicated not only in those symptoms that I talked about, but in an awful lot of modern day diseases, and one of those is dementia. Dementia sufferers tend to be chronically low in magnesium. Supplementation can help there. The other thing is epilepsy. So epileptics tend to be chronically low in magnesium as well. And that kind of goes obviously with it when anyone who suffers with epilepsy has a bit of a knowledge of their condition, because it's characterized by over-excitation of your neurons. So where magnesium tends to be low, relaxation is usually hard to come by, and even in the brain. So what it means is the neurons in your brain tend to fire too much, too often, and at the same time, and that's what can lead to fits like petit mal or grand mal. The other thing that it's been implicated in chronically is young people and even older people who suffer from adult death syndrome. They tend to get attacks of heart arrhythmia, and then the heart will stop maybe after that. Tends to be also chronically low on magnesium, and that's why energy drinks with a lot of caffeine have been implicated in those. So I suppose I'll just get right on into talking about how we can remedy a lot of that. So I myself, being a caffeine drinker but not a very big alcohol drinker, I tend to suffer sometimes from that broken sleep and some muscle cramps. So the reason I take magnesium is to keep that quality of life that you get from having good quality sleep, and of course not having muscle cramps. So I'll jump straight on into talking about the supplement that I take. I take a form of magnesium known as magnesium bisglycinate, and this is known out of all the forms of magnesium to be about the highest quality there is. You could describe it in a pyramid. Right at the top of the pyramid you have magnesium bisglycinate. Just below that, and you can get this in most chemists, would be magnesium citrate. And down near the bottom in terms of quality you have magnesium oxide. So you can see this if you take your tub and have a look at the back of it in the ingredients section in particular, and that will tell you, because the descriptive either oxide, citrate or bisglycinate tends to follow the word magnesium. It doesn't always say on the front. So it's important to get the best quality magnesium that you can. Now going further down the pyramid, but into one that's a little bit unique, is Epsom salts. So if you're not into taking supplements orally, Epsom salts can be a great way to get magnesium, but not by consuming it orally. you can put it in the bath and you can absorb it how we call transdermally. It actually absorbs through your skin. So not only can this be great for you if you're not into taking supplements early, it can be great maybe if you have small children who you bathe at night and who have a little bit of broken sleep, as long as they don't consume that bath water, which I'm sure they don't, but you know how kids are. For the reason being that while it's not really that dangerous, it does also act as a laxative. And that's one of the ways that we know how your magnesium supplement tends to be of better or lower quality. Better magnesium supplements tend to absorb better, which is why I take bisglycinate, and they also tend to irritate the digestive tract a lot less. Whereas magnesium sulfate, which is what Epsom salts are known as, and you can buy those in any chemist locally, tend to irritate the digestive tract more, but orally don't absorb quite as well. But they do absorb through the skin quite well, and it's for that reason you can get an oral supplement like the one I showed you. You can also get an Epsom salt, which I showed you, but you can also get it as a gel or a spray and rub it straight onto your skin. So just to summarise before I go on a little bit too long, guys, the benefits of getting enough magnesium in your diet are going to be your sleep will tend to be of much better quality. You may tend to suffer much less from reasonless anxiety, as I would call it. If you tend to walk around with the jitters for no reason that you can attach it to psychologically, magnesium levels being topped up tends to keep those kind of episodes low. And the other thing is that you will also suffer less from muscle cramps, which is quite important if you're doing things like, I don't know, floor-based, mat-based exercises, or even field exercises, or even jiu-jitsu, which I like to do myself. Your rolling sessions, if you cramp up a lot, it can be a real pain in the ass and stop you from doing what you need to do. So I suppose I've said all I need to say about it for now. We're going to continue on with this series. If you've watched everything until now, I'd love if you gave the channel a like and maybe a subscription, and stay tuned for the next video. We're going to be pulling out another one soon. Thanks, guys. Let me know what you think.